Okay, guys, here is my opinion on the coaching industry and the pressures within it. And this is my opinion that absolutely nobody asked for, but I'm giving it anyways. So here's my little rant. So I've noticed the same conversation come up multiple times now, where I've been speaking to somebody and they've been in the coaching industry. They've done the NLPs, the hypnosis, the breath works, this thing, the men's work, women's work, whatever it may be. And there's this pressure that they've felt, like from different people in the industry, about going, going all in. And this is something that people like they go on and on and on about going like, oh, you gotta go all in, you gotta go all in, you gotta go, be the freaking super coach and 10K months and 6-figure coach and everything. It's just like, guys, slow the fuck down. If that is not actually what is within your heart of what you actually want, then what is the point? And why I'm saying this is because, like, the people that I've spoken to that have brought this up, they've told me that this is like going like the regular coach pathway of like, you know, doing all the thing, like you learn up all the coach things, the NLP, the different modalities and everything, and then you gotta go like hard on social media and doing all the things, and then fucking, bringing people into your containers and filling up your calendars and everything. It's just like, for some people that isn't what they actually want to do. But then there's this this pressure felt from the industry of like, well, you got to do it. You got to keep up with everybody. You got to keep going, 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 going. And perhaps for you, that may not be a thing. That may not be a thing for you at all, or may not be a thing for you right now. And my opinion on this is that a lot of this is just a lot of noise, right? It's worked for other people, great, but everyone's unique. And I find that there's a lot of like, just like cookie cutter kind of pushiness to it of like, you got to jump all in. And it's like, all right, if you continuously listen to that and ignore what is actually pulling you towards that field in the first place, right? Because for a lot of these coaches, there's something within their heart, their spirit, their soul that's kind of pulling them in that direction of like, I want to do this work. I'm interested in this work. For some people, it's like just straight up like, oh, this makes me money. Sure. I'm not really talking about those guys. I'm talking about the people that there's some sort of interest for them, but like I guess the regular coaching path, or business model, whatever, does not work for them. And with those guys, like what I would say is tune in more to what it is that is actually driving you, like the driving motivators, like the pulling force within you, right? It's okay to mute out all of the noise. It's going like fucking 10K months, 10K months, 10K months, like quiet. Perhaps really what it is that you really, really want and what would actually make you happier with life is working your day job, or working, 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week, and then having that supplemented with coaching, or doing coaching just as a side hobby, or doing coaching and healing work as part of somebody else's structure, right? Or being an assistant to another coach. Like, there's multiple ways of getting the success that you're looking for, of getting of fulfilling the goals that you're wanting. That doesn't have to be in the kind of stock standard cookie cutter way. Yes, I'm not bagging. I'm not bagging how people do make money on coaching, whether they just get clients coming through and they're doing their thing and they're building themselves up. Great. But what I'm saying is that it does not work for everybody. And for some people, they'll actually find better happiness, greater happiness from staying within their job and doing like coaching work on the weekends or running events from time to time. It can be a side thing, and that's okay if you want it to be. You don't have to go all in and be the main star of the show. And what I'm saying here is, if you tune out the noise, you create space for yourself to open up to new possibilities, right? For example, um, like I had to go through this process like a couple times where I thought, all right, you know, like there's this, mental models that everyone's running of like, I'm sorry, business models that everyone's running, and I got to do what they're doing, I got to do what this guy's doing and everything. It's just like, all right, I had to like cut it all out and like just shut up. What do I want to do? What do I find like essentially like what is it actually attracting me? What do I like find fun and enjoyable and and exciting, right? And so I just like sat down with it with myself and just like, all right, I may not have an idea now, but I'm just going to try something. I'm just going to go towards the fun of it. Why not? And I'm just going to do shit that just excites me. And I just feel like, all right, cool. I just want to start talking to people. I just want to start, you know, having expansive conversations with people. And so from that, it kind of led into my brain, digesting information in a new way without this pressure that it has to hold of like, it has to be this one particular way. It evolved into a different offer where, I talk about people's, what they really want, their future potentials and everything like that, and the different possible pathways that they want to go down. And I found out that that's what my heart is calling to. And I'm not saying that it's all fun and no work. Of course, there's going to be work involved in it. Depends on how far you want to go with it. What I'm saying is that just because it worked for somebody else doesn't mean it will necessarily work for you. You will have to find your own way. What works for other people works for other people. There's no problem in copying somebody else's business like format or their structure or whatever, or like how they do things. But a particular person that's shouting really loud or going like, this is the way, this is the way, this is how you got to do it, that may not work for you. Consider it. Like, take in what's valuable and throw away what's unnecessary, what's unneeded, and keep and alchemize what is yours by just having a moment of silence after you've like absorbed enough information in. Just tell everyone, shut the fuck up, let me think, let me cook with all this, and come up with something that actually comes from me, what excites me, what has that internal like fire, that motivation for me to want to go towards. Otherwise, you'll be stuck just kind of like, because like spinning in circles, spinning wheels, going like, I'm trying to force myself into this thing that I truly just don't want to do, but I really want to do this other thing, but it's wrong because this other coach or guru, whoever the fuck, told me, no, I gotta go all in on this thing. Shut the fuck up. There's 50 billion ways to do business. There's millions of ways to do things, right? Now, some other person will come along and go, oh, but this is brokey advice. Like, I'm not fully at the success level that I want to be at yet, right? And it's like, I know for myself that like I found myself spinning my wheels trying to do different kinds of like business models, or like go in a particular like business path, and it just wasn't working for me, and I was like banging my head against the wall of like, why does this not like work for me? Why am I not generating ideas? Because I wasn't coming from a place of like, oh yeah, I just want to do this thing. And when I came from that place, it's just like I've noticed that things just started like moving just more naturally. And then people started coming back and responding a lot better. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually working better and easier now that I'm not like going against myself. But I'm working just in a different way, right? And say, for example, like where I'm at right now, yeah, I've been doing quite a number of like free jobs here and there. And it just feels like what I want to do. Like I don't judge it, but it just feels like, all right, I just want to experiment for a little bit. And this is what I'm just going to do right now, right? And I find that that's just been a lot more enjoyable and a lot more fun and exciting and just internally motivating to bring in more information and to learn more things. And what I've noticed is that as I start to go down that road, because I'm not forcing myself into somebody else's, mode of working, I'm finding that because I'm starting off with going my own way first and doing things just how I want to do, because I'm coming from a place of like, this feels good, I like it, I'm internally motivated, then I see how, like, if I keep going in this direction in the future, it will then transform into like those more standardized, like traditional models of like business and everything, right? But when it's like trying to jam down step two down my throat first before I've had the time to play around in step one, I'm just going to be spinning in circles and just going like, I fucking hate this process. I don't want to do this. And of course, I'm just going to result in self sabotage and just like not wanting to do anything. Right. And in that moment of just silence, of like, all right, I just want to do things like my way, even though it may not be the correct way that other people are telling me to do. I'm just going to do shit my way and do it in the way that I've always wanted to do. Then there's going to be more room for creativity to come in. There's going to be more room for new ideas to come in, for new information to come in, more flow to come in. And allow for like a new vantage point to develop on your business, on how you're moving forward, right? And perhaps what you're like in this time of, just going your own way, you may find out that like, oh, wait a minute, this thing that I've been trying to butt my head up against for so long is actually not the thing that I want to do. And I've tied up my identity into it, and it does not serve me. It has not been serving me. I've been trying to force this like different way of being that actually goes against myself, right? And so that there might be a moment of going like, oh fuck it, I don't have to do this shit anymore. Great. What else is there? Oh, you know what? I actually just want to run an event from time to time, or I just want to. I honestly just want to work my regular 9 to 5 job, and just have the knowledge and understandings that I've gotten from all the things that I do, and just use it for myself, or use it for my friends and family, or just host an event from time to time, just as a fun thing, right? It doesn't have to be the go all in, you're a full coach and go on social media and do it. Like, it doesn't fucking have to be that way if you don't want it. Because then you're not actually listening to what you really desire out of life, and it'll just feel like a fucking drag. Right? So, yeah. Allow yourself to open up to the possibilities by, like, here's the permission piece. If you want to go, like, if you just feel within yourself of like, shit's not fucking working, I just want to go my own way for a little while because that's what I felt. I'm feeling like, fuck, I just want to do my own thing, my own way, just for a while, just to see how it fucking works. And I don't care if there's like money involved or not, or whatever, if I'm not becoming like on the fastest path to being like a 10K coach or whatever the fuck. It's like, perhaps I want to just take it a little bit slower. Perhaps I just want to just slow things down and just take it at a bit more of a comfortable pace. Or maybe I want to speed it up, but I want to go in my direction. And in going my direction, I'll find out what I actually want. Maybe that's working the 9 to 5 job. Maybe that's, doing a half and half split where I'm working 3 days a week or 2 days a week in my 9 to 5 and then supplementing everything else with my coaching. Maybe I'm going in a very, in a weird tangent to the field that I'm doing, right? Or perhaps I can mix it up, combine like say my 9 to 5 and combine the learnings that I have. I don't have to be just like a breaking off and being my own little celebrity coach. I can combine the learnings and understandings with my 9 to 5 in a new way. That's a possibility too. That can actually bring you happiness. Or perhaps this is just all interesting shit to you that you enjoy just learning and breaking down and understanding in your own head, and that you just want to share it. There's totally a way to do that and to be successful in that, and there's lots of other people that do that. There's a business model called synthesizing, where you take in information that you are just genuinely passionate about, whether it's like learning about the mind, learning about different healing modalities, learning about fucking wood carving or something like that. And you learn all the like intricate details and everything about it that you're just passionate, that you just want to learn about, and you just assemble it all in your head. And then what you do is that you just relay it, you speak it out onto a camera, onto a video, kind of like this, and you speak it out through your own like, way of seeing the world, your own voice, your own perspective and take on things, and people will want to watch that. And from that, you can also make money from that through advertisements, through then later selling something, but you build up an audience first. And like that's a totally valid way of doing things. And you're not necessarily doing like healing consultations or whatever the fuck. Yes, it can make you money, but like if you don't want to do that and you just want to absorb the information and share it, you can that's totally a valid path of going, right? So if that's a thing for you, you can just go your own way and just like start making videos because you just find it fun. People start watching, you build up an audience, and then bing bang boom, you're making like a bunch of money. So that's a totally valid option, but it wouldn't be there if the only voice that you heard in your head was, I have to be a 10K coach, I have to be 6 figures, $100,000, fucking booking in clients all the fucking time, da 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 da. It's like there's other ways of doing shit, right? Perhaps if the interest is not necessarily in doing, I don't know, coaching for adults, it might be for children. And there's the long-term plan would be like setting up some sort of daycare facilities or something like that. Like that's a different path, totally different, right? But it comes from you. Or perhaps you want to do, like you want to work as part of somebody else's structure. Meaning, if somebody else has is a coach themselves and you're just attracted to the field and like you just want to help them out and just volunteer, that's totally acceptable. That's totally fine. Or you want to work for them for money as like an employee or something, or as a consultant or as an advisor or in some sort of way. That's a totally cool thing to do as well, right? But because you understand, all the coaching things, all the psychology and this and that, like you can now speak to them and understand what they're going through and apply, say, other things that you've learned from, say, like your other job, whether it's like finances and accounting, whatever, and you know how to like bridge that gap. You can be a bridger of different worlds, of like an accounting world and this coaching world, or like this world and that world. You can be a bridger too. Like that's a totally um, acceptable way of going forward as well, right? But just don't put the fucking blinders on and only focus like the only way to make success in your life is through booking in clients and doing the thing and everything. Works for some people, doesn't work for others. But if you take the blinders off for a moment, you can see that there's other options. You can be that bridger. You can be that synthesizer. You can be just happily working as an employee for your job. You can also be like a person that networks different people together. Like if you're around these people, like for example, I've done it a lot as well, where I've connected different people, and I've gotten a lot of value out of just seeing other people grow and rise. Like that could be a thing that you do, like having understanding of the field and speaking the language that everybody else speaks. You can just be amongst all the people and, I don't know, make a business out of connecting this person and that person, and then watching them make a business together, or having them invest in like one person invest into another person, or work together or something like that. You can be a networker, you can be a connector, right? You don't just have to be the coach, right? There's other options available. There's many different roles that you can play using the skills that you've learned, using the fields that you've gone into. You can create new things, you can see new things, you can connect new things together if you take the blinders off and take in what you need from, like listen to all the different voices around, but don't let them be the only voice in your head. Take in and absorb what they have to say, then tell them to all shut the fuck up for a moment. Do your own, mental digestion, do your own cooking, and allow the ideas, no matter if they're, you know, tangent to what other people are saying, or just very far out, or just like or technically wrong, or whatever. If it works for you, it works for you. Fuck around and find out. See what happens, and explore that. You may be stumbling upon something completely left field and unique that nobody else has thought of, right? You may be stumbling on something that no no other coaches can tell you, because it comes from a unique place of creativity. It comes from you. So open your mind more. Give yourself space to shut out the voices. Allow yourself to bring out that creativity and really tap into what is it that I want to do? What is it that really motivates me? There's something like I'm here doing this stuff, learning these things for a particular reason. Whether it's, for my own happiness, for my own benefit, or to see other people be happy, whatever. Like tune into that. Because that's what's that little flame that's been, pushing you along in this particular direction, and you find yourself here right now for some reason. Tune into that. And if you tune into that and like foster that little fire over time, more and more and more and more, eventually you'll come upon something where you're adding fuel to the fire, adding more and more and more interest, more creativity, more like life to it, and the fire will grow. And it may not make money straight away, and it may take time, and it may take a little bit of hustle and work. And that's okay. But there's an option there for you to allow that process to happen so that you can find exactly what it is that you want. So that's my little rant on going all in and doing just how I see like a lot of the what the coaches that coach other coaches that coach the coaches and all that shit, like what's going on, like especially like in the Gold Coast area here, where there's just a big fucking orgy of coaches here. It's like, um, yeah, it's okay to tell everyone shut the fuck up. I'm doing my thing. Totally cool, and just do your thing. So thank you so much for listening. I hope something was helpful in that. Go your own way, do your own thing, allow your creativity to rise, and find happiness in your own way. Find success in your own way. Do your own thing. You do you. Boo. Peace.